Have you ever given your heart to people who didn't value it? Your time, your energy, your loyalty poured into hands that only took and never gave back? Listen to me. Not everyone deserves your energy. Not everyone deserves a front row seat in your life. Because every time you give your peace to the wrong people, you rob yourself of what truly matters. Life is short, painfully short. And when it's over, it won't be the noise that mattered. It'll be the moments of meaning, the 10 things that truly matter in life. So today, protect your spirit, guard your purpose. And let's talk about what really counts. 1. Peace of mind. Protect it like treasure. Don't trade your calm for chaos just to please someone else. The loudest room isn't always the right one. 2. Purpose. If you don't wake up knowing why you're moving, you'll end up chasing what everyone else is chasing. Find your mission and run after it with everything you have. 3. Faith. When life breaks, faith rebuilds you. Even when you can't see the road, trust that God is guiding your steps. 4. Discipline. Motivation gets you started. Discipline keeps you moving. Winners aren't built in moments of excitement, they're built in the quiet hours when no one is watching. 5. Time. Time is the one thing you can't buy back. Spend it where it grows you, not where it drains you. 6. Health. Your body is the vehicle of your dreams. Treat it with the same respect you give your ambitions. Eat clean, rest, move, breathe. 7. Relationships. Not quantity, quality. The right people don't drain your light, they amplify it. Surround yourself with souls that push you higher. 8. Gratitude. Every sunrise is a gift. Every breath is proof you're still chosen to try again. Stop waiting for something big to be thankful for. Gratitude turns ordinary into enough. 9. Growth. You'll outgrow people, habits, and versions of yourself. That's not betrayal, that's evolution. Keep becoming who you were meant to be. 10. Legacy. One day, your name will be a memory. What do you want it to stand for? Live every day like someone will tell your story tomorrow. So, hear me clearly. Not everyone deserves your energy. You are not here to be liked. You are here to live. To walk in purpose, to protect your peace, to build your faith, to stay disciplined, and to rise again every time life tries to break you. If this message woke something inside you, don't let it fade. Hit subscribe. Join a movement of people who refuse to live halfway, because your energy is sacred. And your life, it truly matters. Protect your energy like gold, because it is the foundation of everything you are. Every thought you think, every emotion you feel, and every decision you make is fueled by your energy. When you give it to the wrong people, the wrong habits, or the wrong environments, you slowly lose pieces of yourself. You start feeling tired without knowing why, disconnected even, when surrounded by others, and empty even when life seems full. That's what happens when you pour into people who only take. It's not selfish to protect your energy, it's survival. The truth is, not everyone deserves your presence, your kindness, or your attention. Some people are lessons, not lifelong companions. Some situations are tests, not destinations. The moment you understand this, you begin to reclaim your peace. You have to become intentional with who you allow into your life. Watch how they speak when you win, and how they react when you fail. Do they lift you or drain you? Do they add peace or chaos? Energy doesn't lie, it reveals everything words try to hide. When your gut tells you something feels off, it's not paranoia, it's protection. Stop trying to prove your worth to those who can't see it. Stop overgiving to people who never show up for you. The more you give to the wrong places, the less you have left for what truly matters. Protecting your energy means setting boundaries and meaning them. It means saying no without guilt and yes without fear. It's understanding that silence is sometimes stronger than explanation, and walking away is sometimes wiser than staying to argue. You don't owe everyone access to you. Your time is precious. Your mind is sacred. Your heart is rare. Not everyone should be allowed to touch those spaces. Protect your mornings from negativity. Protect your nights from overthinking. Protect your dreams from people who don't believe in them. You were not created to fix everyone, to carry everyone's burden, or to constantly explain your peace. You were created to live in alignment with your higher purpose. When you focus your energy on that purpose, everything else begins to fall into place. You start attracting the right people, the right opportunities, the right peace. It's not magic, it's energy matching energy. What you protect grows. What you neglect fades. You'll notice that when you start guarding your energy, some people will call you distant or cold. Let them. You're not cold, you're clear. You're not distant, you're disciplined. Protecting your energy isn't about building walls. It's about creating gates that open for love, growth, and peace, and close for drama, manipulation, and exhaustion. You are not obligated to be available to everyone. You are allowed to choose yourself without apology. The right people will understand your boundaries. The wrong ones will expose their intentions. The more you honor your energy, the more powerful, peaceful, and purposeful your life becomes. Live with purpose, not approval. Because the moment you start chasing the opinions of others, you lose sight of your own direction. So many people waste years trying to fit into spaces they were never meant to belong to, trying to impress people who don't even care. They measure their worth by likes, comments, and compliments, forgetting that validation from others can never replace conviction from within. The truth is, no one else can define what success looks like for you. Approval is temporary. Purpose is eternal. The applause will fade, but the meaning behind what you do will remain. You have to decide, do you want to be liked or do you want to be fulfilled? Because the two don't always walk together. Living with purpose means doing the right thing, even when it's unpopular. Following your inner voice, even when it makes you stand alone. It means staying true to your values when the world tempts you to compromise. When you live for approval, you become a prisoner of people's opinions. One wrong word, one mistake, and they turn away. But when you live for purpose, even failure can't stop you, because you know why you started. Purpose gives pain meaning. It turns rejection into redirection, loss into learning, and doubt into drive. You stop asking, what will they think of me? And start asking, what will God think of me? That's the moment you begin to live free. Your purpose isn't found in popularity, it's found in passion. The fire that burns inside you when you're doing something that feels right, something that gives rather than takes. It could be your work, your art, your kindness, your voice, your example. When you connect your life to something greater than yourself, your confidence no longer depends on applause. You start waking up with clarity instead of confusion. You start walking with focus instead of fear. You begin to realize that success is not about being seen. It's about being aligned with what you were created to do and who you were meant to become. Living with purpose also means accepting that not everyone will understand your path. Some will criticize you, doubt you, or call you selfish for choosing yourself. But that's because they can't see what you see. Purpose is personal. It doesn't need approval to exist. You will outgrow people, habits, and even dreams as you evolve. That's okay. Growth often feels like loss to those who want you to stay the same. But when you live for purpose, you stop shrinking to make others comfortable. You stop apologizing for wanting more, for dreaming bigger, for walking a road that others are afraid to take. At the end of the day, approval fades, trends die, opinions change, but purpose endures. When you live for purpose, your energy feels different, your presence speaks louder, and your journey starts to make sense. You no longer chase what's popular, you create what's meaningful. You stop existing for applause and start living for impact. Discipline is stronger than motivation, because motivation is a spark, but discipline is the fire that keeps burning long after the spark fades. Motivation feels good, it's emotional, it's loud, it's inspiring, but it doesn't last. One bad day, one disappointment, and it disappears. Discipline, on the other hand, doesn't depend on how you feel. It's what pushes you to show up even when you're tired, to keep moving when no one's watching, to do the work when the excitement is gone. That's where greatness is built, not in the moments of hype, but in the moments of quiet consistency. Every dream, every goal, every victory you've ever admired was born out of discipline, not bursts of motivation. Discipline is the difference between wishing and winning. Everyone wants to be great, but not everyone wants to do what greatness requires. Discipline is waking up early when you'd rather sleep, saying no when temptation whispers yes, and staying focused when distractions call your name. It's choosing long-term fulfillment over short-term pleasure. It's showing up for yourself when no one else believes in you yet. Motivation gives you the idea. Discipline builds the reality. You can be inspired by someone's success, but until you create your own habits, that inspiration fades. Discipline is what turns a goal into a lifestyle. There will be days when your energy feels low, when your mind tells you to stop, when progress feels invisible. Those are the days that define you. That's when discipline steps in. It reminds you of your promise to yourself, the commitment you made when you were inspired. Because discipline isn't about perfection, it's about persistence. It's about doing something small every day that moves you closer to your vision. You won't always feel proud, but one day you'll look back and realize that every ordinary day you stayed consistent was shaping the extraordinary life you now live. Discipline also builds confidence. Every time you follow through on a commitment, you strengthen your belief in yourself. You stop waiting for the right time, the right mood, or the right support. You start trusting your own strength. That trust changes everything. It gives you quiet power, the kind of power that doesn't need validation. Because when you're disciplined, you don't talk about what you're going to do. You just do it. You stop chasing motivation and start becoming the person others look to for it. Most people fail not because they lack talent, but because they lack discipline. They start strong, but quit when it gets hard. They wait for the feeling to return, not realizing that the feeling follows the action. If you want to master your mind, master your habits. Wake up, stay focused, and do what needs to be done, especially when you don't feel like it. That's the secret of every champion, every leader, every success story. Discipline isn't glamorous. It's not loud. But it's the reason dreams turn into reality and potential becomes power. Faith turns setbacks into strength because it gives you a reason to keep moving even when the world seems to be falling apart. Life will test you, and there will be moments when nothing makes sense, when doors close, and when every plan you've made seems to crumble. In those moments, faith becomes the anchor that keeps you from drifting into despair. Faith is not just believing that things will get better. It is trusting that there is a purpose behind every struggle, a lesson behind every loss, and a path behind every closed door. When you have faith, setbacks stop being the end of your story and start becoming the chapters that make your story worth telling. Faith requires patience, because life rarely unfolds on the timeline you want. There will be times when you work tirelessly, give everything you have, and still feel like you are nowhere. Those are the moments that define faith. It is easy to believe when life is smooth and victories come easily. The real test is believing when failure surrounds you, when hope feels distant, and when the voices of doubt are loudest. Faith is holding on when your mind says let go, when your heart says quit, and when the world says it's impossible. It is a quiet power that cannot be measured by circumstances, but only by endurance. Faith also gives you perspective. It teaches you that temporary pain does not define permanent identity. When life knocks you down, faith reminds you that you are not your failures, you are not your mistakes, and you are not the sum of other people's opinions. You are a soul with a purpose, a life with meaning, and a potential that cannot be erased by a single setback. Faith allows you to see beyond the immediate struggle, to understand that even storms have an end, and that even broken paths can lead to breakthroughs. It transforms fear into courage, worry into trust, and weakness into resilience. When you cultivate faith, you begin to notice signs, opportunities, and answers that others miss. You become aware that even the smallest step forward is part of a bigger plan, that every closed door redirects you to a better path, and that every challenge carries hidden blessings. Faith makes you patient with the process, relentless in effort, and unwavering in hope. It allows you to rise above frustration, disappointment, and doubt, because you know that what is meant for you will never pass you by. You no longer need to control every outcome, because faith teaches you that some things are beyond your control, and surrendering to that truth is not weakness, but wisdom. Faith also inspires action. It is not passive waiting. It is confident moving. You prepare, you strive, you persevere, and you trust that the results will align with a higher plan. Faith is what gives people the courage to start over after failure, to forgive after betrayal, and to believe in themselves when no one else does. It transforms ordinary people into warriors of hope, ordinary lives into testimonies of triumph, and ordinary struggles into stories of extraordinary resilience. Faith is the bridge between despair and victory, between doubt and clarity, and between struggle and strength. Faith teaches you that setbacks are not punishments, but stepping stones, that difficulties are not obstacles, but opportunities, and that even when you can't see the way is always being made for you. It gives meaning to suffering, courage to continue, and power to rise, stronger, wiser, and more determined than ever before. Building a legacy, not just living a life, means understanding that every choice you make, every action you take, and every word you speak carries weight far beyond the present moment. Life is fleeting, and time moves faster than we realize. But the impact of your actions can echo long after you are gone. Most people focus on comfort, on temporary pleasure, on moments that feel good now, forgetting that the true measure of a life is not in how easy it was, but in what it leaves behind. A legacy is not about wealth, fame, or recognition. It is about the difference you make in the lives of others, the values you instill, and the inspiration you leave for those who follow. When you focus on building a legacy, you begin to live with intentionality. Every decision becomes purposeful, every habit becomes meaningful, and every interaction becomes an opportunity to contribute something lasting. You stop wasting energy on trivial matters, petty arguments, or people who bring you down, and start investing in things that endure. You realize that kindness, integrity, courage, and perseverance are far more valuable than temporary success, because they ripple outward, touching lives you may never even see. The life you live today is the story that people will remember tomorrow, and that story can be one of hope, inspiration, and positive change, or one of regret, neglect, and forgetfulness. Building a legacy also requires vision. You must look beyond immediate gratification and imagine the long-term impact of your actions. Every choice matters: how you treat people, how you handle challenges, and how you respond to opportunities. Will your actions empower others or diminish them? Will your words heal or harm? Will your effort create growth or stagnation? A legacy is shaped by consistency, by the small decisions repeated over time, because monumental change rarely happens overnight. It is the accumulation of disciplined actions, guided by principle and purpose, that leaves something meaningful behind. Living with the mindset of legacy changes your relationship with time. You begin to see each day as an opportunity to contribute something valuable, to leave an imprint that outlives you. Procrastination loses its grip because you understand that time is limited, and wasted moments cannot be reclaimed. You prioritize relationships, learning, growth, and service over distractions, because you know that these are the building blocks of a life worth remembering. The sacrifices you make, the discipline you embrace, and the challenges you overcome are all part of constructing a foundation that will endure. A legacy is also about influence. It is about how you inspire others to live better, to dream bigger, and to rise higher. When you live with purpose, people notice. When you act with integrity, people follow. When you overcome adversity, people find courage. Your life becomes a blueprint for what is possible, and your story becomes a beacon of hope for those who come after you. You cannot control how everyone remembers you, but you can control the substance of your life, the values you uphold, and the example you set. Building a legacy requires patience, sacrifice, and unwavering focus, because it is not built in a day or for recognition. It is forged in the quiet moments, the consistent efforts, and the choices that align with your highest purpose. Every step you take toward growth, every act of service, every moment of courage, contributes to a life that matters beyond your own existence, creating a lasting influence that inspires, uplifts, and empowers generations to come.